It is quite, I've been into somewhat of e-commerce with the classifieds about 2, 3 years back and never thought that people would actually take out their credit cards and spend this money online. For a product like we were definitely piloting, something as complex as eyeglasses, and people are buying it and buying it online. So that gives me a lot of confidence that, and the numbers are growing, not for us, but for all e-commerce companies. The fact that you are into e-commerce, it is growing.
Fact, we are growing at about double-digit growth month on month, most of us. We're also young, so month-on-month growth perhaps has very little meaning given the base that we're operating in, but it's saying something. That that till last year, we at 99 Labels were growing at about 20%, 25%, 30% month-on-month. It had come to a point, honestly, where people were starting to ask us, what's your daily run rate? How much are you going week on week? So it's become fairly euphoric to some extent. To me, euphoria aside, a lot of us are betting on e-commerce becoming large, especially product e-commerce. Travel has existed, electronic works, books work, but if you look at our category, which is fashion lifestyle, and I think all of us are in that space of fashion lifestyle, I think the fact that at least at 99 Labels, we are seeing a lot of repeat customers tells me that it is here to stay, that people trust us, that people will buy again and again from us. So we see about close to 60% repeat customers in any given month. To me, that's testimony to the fact that it is here to stay and it will continue to grow.
The lifestyle space seems to be a little further. What's your take on this? I mean, so for example, what do you think is driving e-commerce today in terms of the product categories that exist? And how do you see that evolving over a period of time? Piyush, if you wish to add, please go ahead.
Anything which is packaged, branded, is easier to sell online, where you don't have a lot of touch and feel to go. For example, selling a camera online or a TV online. With lifestyle, one of the challenges is that it is very personal to people. So the same product, few people may like, few may don't like, and you've not seen it before. So there is another level of trust that people need to go through, which is about the quality of the product, and can image be sufficient enough to justify the quality? And if you deliver wrong quality once, will the customer ever come back? And secondly, it is also about the size, I think, in lifestyle products. So it is not that you may have a perfectly good quality product, but it may not fit the person. Okay, so these are certain challenges, I think, which makes it's still growing, but it will probably never grow at the rate of a books or a electronics. I mean, it will grow, but the category has its own advantages, lifestyle, as compared to electronics and books, which is, purely gross margin right now. And, and if you deliver good quality to a customer, they'll keep coming back. The advantage with lifestyle, which, an electronics may not have, is the repeated buying is a lot better in lifestyle. Because when it's a packaged product, it is very easy to shift also to another website.
Unlike travel, books, electronics, where the main purchaser was men, for a category like ours, the main purchaser, influencer is women. When I entered this space 2 years back, research said folks online, 80% of that is men. Women are not online. And if they're online, what are they doing? They're checking their emails, they're on Facebook. There is no destination for women online. This is not precluding the women who read and buy electronics, but the majority of women are not online. For somebody like us, where not only are we seeking women, fashion, lifestyle, apparel, accessories, jewelry, handbags, we're seeking women, we are also seeking a slightly older woman. We're not seeking the 20-year-old. Our average age is about 30. So this is a slightly older woman that we're talking to. And this older woman is not online, or was not online. So for us, I think the key driver is women. And how do we reach that person? How do we convince that person to buy? So first is reach itself. Reach itself 2 years back didn't exist. We just didn't know how to reach this woman online. And then to convert this woman, convince her. But here's the interesting part about women, I think. I think women are inherent shoppers. You know that more than us. We like shopping again and again. We will buy our 50th handbag and our 60th pair of shoe. So it's a great category. If you can reach them, convince them to buy, they'll come back again and again.
If you look at the overall economic, or if you look at overall organized retail, right, you'd find that books, yeah, it's great, it's easy to buy, but the overall organized retail market for books is about $1 billion in India. The overall organized retail for technology products, including mobile phones, etc., is about $10 billion. Now, the lifestyle space is where the market truly balloons, right? So you have 40 odd billion dollars worth of organized retail, given whom you believe. So if you read somebody's data, it'll be 30, somebody else's 50. But truly organized lifestyle retail is where the organized market is, right? Don't you think at some point in time, the books and the technology plays will get capped out? I mean, there is only that much market which they go after. And the other thing which is very important, I think, for any successful business is the extent of margins that exist in that space. If you today were to, for example, if you were to see fundamentally the degree of mobile phones that get sold and the extent of books that get sold, the margin structures do not allow for scale. So what's your take on that? I mean, I heard you say that that's where the real action right now is, and so on.
I won't say that there will not be a good business in electronics and books and some of these categories which are, you know, a lower margin category. But I think one has to be clear about the strategy they are following. So mixing and matching the two and sort of working without any strategy can be risky here. And if one player can lose money for a longer time, doesn't mean everybody can lose money for a longer time. So you need to basically know what your pockets are and, you know, what are you there. So for electronics category, Amazon got break even, I think, just a few years back. So it took, I don't know how many years for Amazon to break even in an electronics category. But Amazon is a company which thought that I can afford to do it. But how many people can afford to do it in India? And people need to be careful about that. Lifestyle, these categories definitely allow you to, you know, capture higher gross margins. But that is also up to the enterprise whether they want to do that or not, right? I mean, today, one of the madness we are seeing in e-commerce is, you know, you give me 400 rupees, I'll give you back 500 rupees. That is the game right now. So might as well just do it cash. Why sell a product? I think that can be quite risky longer term. I mean, today companies are well funded, but like you're seeing, you know, Series Bs are difficult. And that is because the numbers are not about top line anymore. The numbers are what is your gross margin, what is your repeat customer ratio, what is your average ticket size. People talk about, you know, we have a 5% conversion ratio and 1,000 orders a day. But, you know, the next question you need to ask is what is the ticket size? And how much money are you burning every order? You know, I can sell something which costs 200 rupees for 20 rupees and yes, my conversion ratio is marginally.
Why is it that successful? Okay, there are lots of small and medium brands out there which have looked to, for example, or would now be looking to establish a presence online. What in your minds?
I think India is quite bad in this perspective that I speak to brands and their initial reaction is no, will not go online. And then 2 months later they want to go online. And they think that if they don't sell online, their brand will be protected. Actually, it's happening the other way. If you don't go online, people will sell your products and actually, you know, will discount it and it will not be in your control. If you tie up with the companies, they'll sell it. You know, if you do a legal agreement, you bound them that you won't discount it further than this and this will be the return policy you'll give to the customers. Then people and companies, they don't want to go and break that legal agreement. Okay, because there's just that inner thing that, oh, we don't want to jeopardize this. But if they don't have an agreement, they do the opposite. That's what online companies are doing. Like nobody can stop us from selling, and you can get into all those monopoly and oligopoly laws. And it is a used product that I am selling. It is not a new product that you are selling. So I think brands need to be more open. Some of the brands have been very conscious, and I think I do understand why they are conscious because they don't want to ruin it. But I think they need to be open about selling it to at least, giving it to at least few sellers, looking at their reputation, or binding them into agreement that if they break it, they'll stop them from selling it. So I think there is a lot of resistance right now, but it will open up, and it is opening up quite a lot. I mean, Gitanjali is one of the cases which has opened up, right?
I was reading a very interesting statistic which said that in the US, the watch retailers for the longest time did not go online, just did not go online. And last year, they went online 2 years back. The e-commerce industry in the US is what, 15, 20 years back old? Okay. So they went online, watch retailers went online 2 years back. Last year, 25% of all watch sales in the US happened online. So sooner or later, either through their own portals or presence on other portals, you'll go online. I think ignoring it, you do it at your own risk, is my take. having said so, and it's been my learning, I think. 2 years back, I did not realize that it is a capital-intensive business to the extent it is. The amount of money all of us are either spending or will need to spend to on marketing. Forget everything else. Forget stocks, inventory, etc., etc. Just the amount we need to spend on marketing is substantial. An existing retailer going online, easier risk, because you can market your online presence through your retail stores. Somebody, a small retailer trying to go only online, you have to be cautious because it seems simple. You can create a site for what, 20,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees. There are now plug-and-play models available. How do you market it is a challenge. I don't think any one of us has answers, and people who do are spending a lot of money.
Online is not easier than offline.
It isn't, right? It's actually more difficult. How do you find them? You know, very quickly, people like Flipkart, Myntra, Yebi have gone on television because we can't restrict ourselves to digital. A 2-year-old company going television means serious cash burn. So just a word of caution for smaller brands, retailers who are only trying to go online. It's a capital-intensive business.
India's kind of different. I mean, over the last 5-10 years is how organized retail is evolving, and over the last 4-5 years is how e-commerce is evolving. Do you not think that, especially for all kinds of retailers, small and large, e-commerce is almost like an essential part of what they need to factor into their future growth plans?
It is.
Because potentially, online retail might be setting the standards for offline retail in India.
In US, even a small optical guy has an online store. India, we did Lenskart, and there's like, wow, it can be sold online. I can tell you just, and you know, so this is a very interesting case. So when we launched Lenskart, every offline retailer sort of said, oh, we will not let them sell online. And even the more brainier ones said, this cannot happen, but it is happening. And what will eventually happen is, and they would go tell the brands, don't give them products, or so I actually read an email from one of the retailers to one of the brands, either he or we. So it was quite funny because I think soon, what will happen soon is these guys will not have an option but to do their own online stores as well. And what will that mean? So everybody should go online. I think it is going to happen. It is nothing more than another sales channel. So why should people not go online?
There are about 100 million cards in India, including debit cards and credit cards. We spend a lot of time talking about cash on delivery, opening up e-commerce for the masses. And I completely get it. Yes, it will. At a time when potentially more than 10 million people actually do e-commerce in India. Right now, there are about 10 million people, including travel, who do e-commerce, out of 100 million who have cards. So I think it might be I think we spend a little more time normally discussing cash on delivery when potentially there are these 90 million other folks who have access to electronic payment instruments, know how to use them, and might be willing to use them given a proper value proposition from people like us. And that's why I believe that perhaps the lower hanging fruit are these 90 million, and then we should talk about reaching out to the balance 900 million who exist in India. So that's just my take, but again, the various points will be on this and so on. I think what we'll do is we'll take on one final topic and then open this up for any questions. So for you guys, if there's one thing you'd like to change, and you're not allowed to say cash on delivery, if there's one thing you'd like to change in either in terms of consumer behavior or in terms of the way online e-commerce happens today, what would that be?
Actually, I think most of it is good. I think most of it is good news. People are buying, people are experimenting. 2 years back when we started, people who were buying were 25 to 30-year-olds. Our last analytics we ran is showing an increasing age buying online. So 35-year-olds are buying, 40-year-olds are buying. Lot of women we talk to, research we do ongoing, say this was my first purchase online. So I'm happy. I think the fact that women are buying online, I'm a happy entrepreneur. The thing that keeps us awake at night, apart from multiple things, is that potential of abuse online is very high. What do I mean by that? you heard Piyush sort of touching upon it at the beginning, is that a lot of us are giving incentives for people to buy. So we're giving shopping credits, we're giving vouchers, in the offline world, you know all of this. The potential to abuse this online is extremely high. So I tell you that I'm going to give you shopping credits if your friend purchases. Now what you do is you create another email account, purchase from that and get my shopping credits. And we one day woke up to the extent of the abuse in the system. It is tremendous. So I'd love to change that. I don't know how. I think we need to become smarter than the consumer changing. I think in most of these problems, we just need to become smarter in the way we are doing business. But that's what I'd love to see changing.
At least a standard tax code for businesses which inherently are in one location and sell to all locations in India without having to go through, all the forms, etc., etc. I would love for that to change. So if that were to get simplified, I think online commerce would see a huge benefit. And if there's one more thing that I'd like to change, and I think there is a certain degree of anonymity which comes with the internet, and I think part of it alludes to what you said, Ishita, which is that when people don't think that other people, or especially businesses, know what they're doing, sometimes human behavior tends to be a little more extreme. So either when that's deal-seeking behavior, when that's just communication and so on. And I would say that I'd like to change a little bit of that. And I think as we mature as a customer base online, some of that will change, and it will result in an overall, let's say, better dynamic for all businesses that exist online as well as offline. So those would be the things I'd change. Thanks, guys. I mean, it's been a great conversation till now.